What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope everyone's doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope you guys have had a great start to the weekend. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday, and hope you guys are ready for week 4 kickoff tomorrow. We got an early game, we got a London game, we got a lot to get into. We're less than 24 hours away from week 4 kickoff, so you guys know what time it is, baby. It's time for some live week 4 fantasy Q&A. Hop in the live chat, man. Let me know what's popping. Hit the like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel. Y'all know what to do, man. We're gonna have a great time tonight. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk some fantasy football. We're gonna talk some football in general. So let's get this thing going, man. I'm excited as ever to be here with you guys. So, like I said, let's get it going. Hop in the live chat. Let me know what you guys need. Starts, sits, adds, drops. Waiver wire can still be active up until Sunday. Right? Quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, receivers, kickers, defense, roster ratings, roster confidence, roster non-confidence, whatever it may be. Hop in the live chat, man. General discussion, NFL discussion, fantasy discussion. This is what we're here for, baby. You know I love my Saturday night streams. Always good vibes with you guys on Saturday nights. Let's get it popping. Let's have a good time. Let's talk some fantasy football. You know how we do it here at the Catch. All right. We already got a couple questions in the chat. How's everyone doing tonight, man? I hope everyone's doing good. If you guys are, anywhere affected by the hurricane, man, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's safe. I know we had a lot of rain in other places, but, not anything as drastic. So thoughts to anyone in Florida, man, it's crazy. So hope everyone's had a safe week, a safe weekend, and let's talk some fantasy, man. Let's get into it. All right. Fam first, what's up, baby? How you doing, man? What's up? What's up? Start one. We got Bateman, McLaurin, Olave. I probably go Bateman. Guys, I really like this matchup for the Ravens and Bills. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan of this matchup. Offensively, I think we're going to see a lot of points scored. We got, the Bills secondary just absolutely depleted at the moment. Do I think they can improve on the season? Yeah, sure. I believe in that coaching staff, but right now they're depleted, and they didn't look great last week, right? And then the Ravens defense, by the end of the game, they're giving up a lot of points. So I like Bateman this week. I know we had a down week against New England, their defense has been completely vulnerable as well. I know he had a fumble last week, right? It was a bad week. 4 targets, 2 receptions, still 59 receiving yards, but no score, right? 4.9 fantasy points in week 3 for Bateman, 13.9 in week 1, 20.8 in week 2. I like Bateman this week versus Buffalo. You guys are going to see me, recommend this matchup between the Ravens and Bills, at least through the air, quite a bit tonight and tomorrow and previously in the week. All right, tight end Conklin, Irv Smith, or Robbie Tonyan. I probably go Conklin. Irv Smith is fine too. I wonder overall how the Saints have performed. They've allowed the second fewest fantasy points, to tight ends through 3 games this season. Yeah, I will go Tyler Conklin. I know I've been a little bit cautious of Conklin overall heading into the week, but it's just the quarterback change slightly concerns me. But I do think that Conklin is probably the best option here. Listen, if Conklin performs this week with Zach Wilson, we're in the clear. He is a player to start for the rest of the season. I mean, he's a top 5 tight end right now. Okay, I'm a little bit worried about the chemistry difference between Flacco and Conklin and Wilson. But I don't think we should be going out and starting tight ends who haven't been consistent necessarily, like Smith and Tonyan ahead of him. I think Smith and Tonyan are fine streaming options. Smith definitely has a tougher matchup between Smith and Tonyan, though. But I will go Conklin overall. I will go Bateman at receiver. I'd be tempted to go Olave if Jameis Winston was playing at the quarterback position, but we all know that he is out. We got Andy Dalton out there. I don't think it's awful. I don't think it's great. I just want to see what happens. I think Olave could have a good game, and I like Scary Terry this week. But I see a higher ceiling for Bateman. I will go Bateman. Man, you guys are going to hate me if this Ravens-Bills game isn't what I expect it to be. But I think it'll be all right. All right, Juke, what's up, bro? How's it going? How's it going? Should I panic on Eckler? If so, who should I target for a trade? Thanks. I don't think you should panic necessarily. I don't. I'm an Eckler owner. I haven't panicked quite yet. And I'm in a half PPR league. If you're in a standard or half PPR league, like, the pain is much more intense if you own Austin Eckler right now. But if you're in full PPR, 11.2 week 1, 18.4 week 2, and 13.3 in week 3. Okay? He's got 22 targets on the season. 139 receiving yards, 80 yards on the ground off 32 attempts. No touchdowns. Okay? That's the aggravating part, right? He's RB 14 in full PPR. Okay? The Texans in week 3 allowed 157 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns to Khalil Herbert. Okay? Eckler is due for a big game this weekend. It's a great matchup. So, listen, I know you're not asking, like, necessarily, should I panic on Eckler for the weekend, right? That's not what you're asking. You're asking, should I panic on Eckler in general on the season? And my answer is no. My answer is no. Cole, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Catch fan baby. Let's go. Godfather in the house. What's up, man? Hello, hello. We got Derek in the house. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing? How's your weekend going? Appreciate you guys being here, man. Hope you guys are doing well. Darius, what's up, my guy? Hello, hello. Appreciate you being here. We got J-Dubs in the house. What's up, man? Hello, hello, hello. Best ball team review. We can pull that up in a couple minutes here. At some point in the stream. None of my teams are doing good, though. I'll tell you that much. Ayuk or Penny in full PPR as Bryce. I will go Ayuk. Without a doubt. The Rams are one of the worst teams in the league against opposing receivers from a fantasy perspective right now. I love Brandon Ayuk this week, especially as like a flex. It looks like if you're going between Penny and Ayuk, he's probably a flex. Let's see. So, yeah, I mean, like, if Ramsey sees a lot of Ayuk, it's tough. Like, Ramsey's the bright spot, right? But overall, from a fantasy perspective, like, don't get me wrong, Ayuk's a little, like, always a little risky, but he's got double-digit fantasy points his last 2 weeks against Seattle and Denver. 11.3 in week 2, 12.9 in week 3. I like Ayuk this week. I think he's a really good flex. I really do. Penny, I just don't trust, man. I really don't. 7.7 week 1, 1.5 week 2, 7.9 week 3. No touchdowns on the year. The Lions' defense hasn't been bad. It hasn't been great. They have given up a lot of points, man. So I wouldn't go Penny. I go Ayuk here. All right, brought to you by 904. What would you change? You got the Jacoby Brissett, Josh Allen, Henry, Harris, Adams, Davis, Goddard, Olave. So it's a double quarterback league, I'm assuming. Yeah, benches Prescott, Henderson, Keenan Allen, Boyd, Richie James, Greg D, Renfrow. So you have to keep Brissett and Allen, obviously. Henry and Harris. I don't love Harris this week. I'm not high on the Patriots offense this week. I'm really not. I don't like the matchup versus the Packers. I don't like... do we have an update on Mac and Cheese? Mac Jones? I gotta sneeze. Sorry, guys. Mac Jones is out. Okay. Why did I think... I thought I read something that, like, there's still a possibility he could play. I didn't think he was going to play, but I just want to make sure. Okay. Adams, Davis, Goddard, Olave. So it doesn't look like you got Harris or Henderson, okay? Henderson is just as much of a dart throw for the week. So, like, Harris has been a little bit more consistent on the season. And Cam Akers starting to get a lot of touches. Not that Stevenson didn't have a great week last week as well for the Patriots, but really both backs were performing well last week. I'd probably stay with Harris. That's like your lowest ceiling without a doubt. Olave is fine here. Keenan Allen's ruled out. Like, Richie James could be Like, I don't know, man. I'm not going to bench Olave for Richie James just because freaking Andy Dalton's playing and Jameis Winston's not. You know? So I would keep your lineup how it is. I would. You know, if if Allen was healthy, that'd be one thing. But I like the upside here. Gabe Davis, even Olave in there. I think Goddard's a great tight end. You got Allen and Davis for a stack. And honestly, for a double quarterback league, like with Prescott going down, Jacoby Brissett's not a bad option. The ceiling's not very high, but I like him this week versus the Falcons. So overall, man, I think it's a good roster. I think you're good to go. It's half PPR. Doesn't make a giant difference for me. I like Greg Dortch. With some of these players like Tyler Boyd, Greg Dortch, Hunter Renfrow, like they do bring a little bit less value in half PPR. And I mean, one of them's already played, one of them's injured. I would leave Olave in over Dortch and Richie James. Richie James could get a little interesting just because the matchup's good against the Bears. But like I said, let's see it in action first, right? All right, Derek Dortch, what's up, man? Pick 2, Lamb, Sutton, London, Najee Harris. I would... That is tough. This is a good position to be in, Derek. I guess it kind of depends on the scoring format. Let's assume it's full PPR. I like Sutton this week, and I like London this week. But, man, I like Lamb this... Like, I'm not out on Najee Harris either. I like Lamb versus the Commanders, though. I go Lamb. Like, he had a great game last week. Could have been a much higher fantasy stat line if he didn't drop that big play pass, right? So, I go Lamb. It's really tough between Sutton and London. I think London's going to have a good week versus the Browns. I really do. Man, Derek, like, you could flip a coin here. Like, you could have 2 coins, right? Lamb, Sutton, London, Harris. And you're probably going to fare just fine. Maybe I said Harris because I do think anyone within the Steelers offense like is relatively capped right now. So if you have a 3-sided die, you could just write Lamb, Sutton, London, and roll it twice. But honestly, man, I think you're in a good position no matter what. I'd probably go Lamb and Sutton. But if you go any other combination there, you're fine. You're fine. It's a really good problem to have. Should I start Greg Dortch, Ayuk, or DJ Moore? If it's full PPR, Darius, Greg Dortch is a really safe play. Ayuk is kind of the upside play. DJ Moore is like your training down play. I would not start DJ Moore right now. So I might go with Ayuk there. I like Ayuk this week. How do you guys feel about Brandon Ayuk this week? I think he's a good play. Greg Dortch, like I said, is a safe floor if you want to go there, though. Albert, what's up, bro? Hello, hello. Pray, I said by 11, not at 11. I was on by 11 and before 11. What's up, Pray? How are you, man? Andrea, what's going on? Great to have you in the house. What's up, what's up, what's up? Stevenson or Pierce rest of the season? I mean, Bryce, I'd probably go Pierce here. Like, it's not that I'm out on Stevenson. I am kind of out on that offense. But I just think the consistency will be better for Pierce. I know weeks 1 and 2 were like a slow start. But like he gets the Chargers, Jacksonville. Chargers probably a better matchup with how banged up they are. Jacksonville's actually playing pretty good. Then he gets a bye week. Then he gets Vegas, Tennessee is nice. Philly's bad matchup, right? The Giants, Washington's nice. Miami's kind of in the middle. Cleveland, Dallas, Kansas City, Tennessee. Like with the problem with Stevenson, you know, you just don't know when Harris gonna. You just don't know the split. Like, listen, I'm not out on Stevenson. Like, I liked Stevenson a lot coming into the season. You know, weeks 1 and 2 were really disappointing, but you know, I liked Pierce a lot coming into the season, and weeks 1 and 2 were disappointing. But personally, if it was my roster, I'd probably go Pierce. All right, Albert, Najee, James Conner, J-Rob, pick 2. I don't feel great about James Conner this week, which you guys know I don't say a lot. I don't. For the last 2 weeks, no more than 8.7 points. Let's see. I wonder how the Panthers are faring overall against the position. I need a better way to check that. I don't remember. Last season, I had a way to check that like right away. I need to figure that out. But I probably go Najee and Robinson, but like Robinson does have a tough matchup, so I do think that Jacksonville's going to keep this thing relatively competitive. I do, and like all it takes is J-Rob getting in the end zone for a decent fantasy stat line. So I probably go Najee and J-Rob. That's my gut feeling, but Connor's fine just because J-Rob has the tough matchup. If he didn't, then it'd be Najee and J-Rob. No question for me. Just a gut feeling. I'm benching Connor in one league that I have him. After last week. Hit the Panthers. Yeah. Let me know how you feel about that, Albert. Alright. Best dogs, what's up, bro? Diggs, Kirk, Scary Terry. Yes, Stephon. Yeah, Stephon is in your lineup. Ooh, guys, I'm a little worried about Christian Kirk this week. It's just hard to bench him, man. I'll say this much. Scary Terry's a safe floor. Kirk's the upside. But Kirk's a wide receiver 8 at the moment. You know? Kirk has run the majority of his routes out of the slot. So he should benefit from not seeing Darius Slay or James Bradbury in coverage for most of the game. So what, Marvin Jones and Zay Jones are going to draw Bradbury and Darius Slay? I mean, Jones hasn't been playing awful football, you know? And Marvin Jones hasn't been playing awful football, not great fantasy football, but I mean, I guess that makes me want to start Kirk. It's still a tough matchup overall, but like for the most upside, I'd definitely go Diggs and Kirk here. Scary Terry's probably a safe floor, but if it was my roster, I'm all for rolling dice right now. I'd go Diggs and Kirk. We're at that point in the season. Like, go get the upside, man. Harris or Singletary. What's up, Cole? How you doing, bro? Appreciate you being here tonight, my guy. I don't like the Patriots offense this week. I don't love Singletary versus the Niners also. It's a bad sounding game script. Singletary coming off a 24.1 fantasy performance in week 3. Oh, wait. Sorry. Brain fart. I said Singletary versus the Niners. For some reason I'm thinking Singletary's on the Rams. He's definitely not on the Rams. I go Singletary here. Singletary on the Bills against the Ravens this week. I just it totally dawned on me. Okay, yeah, I go Singletary for sure here, man. Yeah. I don't like the Patriots offense this week. I don't. I go Singletary. I'm doing horrible in League 1 for the catch. 0-3, but good in my work leagues. 2-1 in both work leagues. Hey, man. You can start your season like 0-5 and still make the playoffs. Don't give up. I know you're not giving up, but... Didn't Spencer start like 0-4 or 0-5 in the catch league last year and finish second overall? Thank you, Bryce. It's very kind of you. Apple62 subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of you. Welcome to Catch Fam. Should I start Dalvin Cook? If not, Pierce or Hall? I would still go Cook, Michael. If you don't, then I'd probably go Pierce. But I think you just have to go Cook. He's good to go for the week. The Saints' defense is playing well overall. They're not playing well against the run. 418 rushing yards through 3 games. I go Cook. I go Cook for sure. There's a chance we see some of Madison in this game, but I still go Cook. Hall and Pierce are very nice bench options to have, though. I do like Hall this week, though. And I don't mind Pierce, but if I have Cook, I'm going Cook. Thank you, Derek. That was an intense sneeze. Olave or Sutton for the flex this week. Man, I go Sutton by a hair, AD. I go Sutton by a hair. I like Olave a lot right now. But, you know, I just think you look at the matchup against the Raiders, you have to go Sutton here. He's playing a little bit more consistent overall as well. Gosh, Olave is getting a lot of targets right now, though. I just don't know how it's going to look with the red rifle at quarterback, right? Pray I'd start at RB4 over Penny. NFL teams measure in quarters to the season. This week is in quarter 1. Be careful bailing on players on 0-3 and 1-2 teams. I agree with that, man. Agree with that. This is a big pivotal week for me. For a lot of outlook, fantasy-wise, and just evaluating the league overall. I think there's some pretty pivotal games this week for some of these teams. I do think Vikings at Saints is an interesting game. Even like Seahawks at Lions, like, man, listen, I don't like if the Lions lose this game, that's huge. Jets at Steelers, I mean, like, you get Zach Wilson coming in. Bears at Giants, I'm like, oh. Actually, I think the Giants can win this game. I think they need to win this game. I think that's pretty pivotal too. Colts at Titans, like that game, I don't. I mean, that's two teams trying to save their season, right? Chargers, Texans. Chargers need this win, man. Browns, Falcons. Yeah, that one's kind of meh. Commanders, Cowboys. Commanders did nothing last week, right? They did a lot in weeks 1 and 2. Cowboys trying to savor as many wins behind Cooper Rush as possible. Jags, Eagles is a big game for me, man. Like, overall, I think the Jaguars they're humming, man. Offensively and defensively. The Eagles are one of the best teams in the league right now. You know? The Jags can, even if they don't win this game, they can keep this thing competitive. Like, that's a big game. Bills, Ravens. Bills need a win. Ravens need to show up defensively. Cardinals, Panthers. Cardinals need this win. I'll say that much. If the Panthers can get a win, it's big for them. But Broncos, Raiders is like, that feels like the biggest game for me. Like, I just hate this Broncos offense. I need to see something out of them this weekend against a bad Raiders defense. Pats, Packers. The Packers need like a statement game. They've been playing far better in weeks 2 and 3 in comparison to week 1, but they need a statement game against a Patriots team that's on their backbone, man. Chiefs, Bucks is a huge game. The Bucks just feel like the season's been lost, but like they just have a plethora of injuries. The defense is playing well, especially against the run, but that offensive line has just been shredded. And the receivers are all injured or suspended. Well, Mike Evans is back, we know that much, but like, I think it's a huge game. If the Bucks can come out and compete with the Chiefs, like I said, you know, like with the Jaguars, Eagles, right? Even if the Bucks don't win, it's a big pivotal game overall. Rams, Niners. Those are 2 question mark teams. For me, at least. I know the Rams won last week, but I know they had some tough games last year where they did not look good and they still won the Super Bowl, but they haven't looked great this year. And the Niners are a big old question mark. What are they going to do with Jimmy G at quarterback? So, yeah. End of quarter 1, there's a lot going on in the league right now. And from a fantasy perspective in a lot of those games. All right, let me try and get caught up with the chat. I'm way behind. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you guys so much for spending part of your Saturday night here. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Hope you guys are doing well. All right, Flex, Judy, or Deontay Johnson. I'm worried about the rain in Pittsburgh and Sauce Gardner. I would say Johnson's the safer floor, Anthony. But the matchup's not good. The weather's not good. And Judy's probably the higher ceiling going up against the Raiders. So if you don't feel good about it, then I would trust that gut instinct and I would follow it. So if you don't feel good about it, then I think you stick and you leave Deontay on the bench there. All right, let's see here. We just got a super chat. Anthony with the super chat. Very, very kind of you, man. Thank you so much for the $2 dono. Very, very kind. I appreciate that, man. Connor, J-Rub. I don't know. I've said J-Rub twice tonight. J-Rob, Hunt, and Hall. Start 2.5 PPR. It's tough, man. I go Hall and J-Rob here. I have faith in James Robinson this week, even in a steep matchup. I just think James Robinson is playing far too good a football to leave him on your bench, you know? Number 4 in PPR right now, guys. Number 4. Okay. The Eagles are allowing the 3rd most yards per attempt in the NFL. You know, like, the defensive line is stout. But think back to, like, week 1 against the Lions for the Eagles. Think about just how the Lions ran all over them. Week 1 feels like a long time ago, doesn't it, man? Week 2, they got Minnesota. They played quite well there, right? Week 3, they played very well. They've gotten better each week. But I go James Robinson, Anthony. I don't want him on my bench. And I like Hall this week. Like, I think Connor's fine. I think Hunt is fine. But I would probably go Hall here. I would. I like this matchup for Hall. Pittsburgh hasn't been playing great. The targets last week were really good. 11 targets for Breece Hall in week 3, 6 receptions, 53 receiving yards. That's where a bulk of his fantasy value came from. So I'd probably go Hall and J-Rob. But I do like Hunt this week. If I'm not mistaken, Atlanta's defense has allowed the 6th fewest fantasy points per game to the running back position. That's tough, man. That's tough for Hunt. You know, like, we think about the Falcons, right? We're like, oh, yeah, start players against the Falcons. It's not necessarily been that way on the season. The Seahawks are another team who are, like, actually playing pretty good football defensively. And it's just, you know, like the Jaguars, too. Like, it's just teams that we did not expect going into the season. So, and we've talked about Connor a little bit on tonight's stream as well, but I'll try to do another little bit of a dive here since hit me with the super chat, my guy. But yeah, 1 touchdown through 3 games. I'm not completely out against the Panthers, but I think overall, man, if it was my roster, I'd go J-Rob and Hall. There's definitely an argument for Connor and Hunt, but I like J-Rob and Hall the most, Anthony. That's my answer for you. Appreciate the super chat, man. Very, very kind of you. Very kind. Appreciate that, my guy. All right. Back to the chat. Who should I start, or who should I sit out of the 3 full PPR? Wilson, Ayuk, or Juju? I'd probably sit Juju. Probably sit Juju there. Guys, am I too low on Juju? I just don't trust the consistency there. I don't. Tampa Bay has allowed fewer points per game than any team in the NFL. So really, if you start Juju this week, you're banking on receptions and crossing your fingers he finds the end zone. I just like Ayuk against the Rams secondary outside of Ramsey, right? And I take a chance on Wilson here. I go Garrett Wilson and Ayuk. Bryce, which QB won this week? Matt Ryan, Tannehill, Zach Wilson. I'd probably go Tannehill. I'd probably go Ryan Tannehill. Do I love it? No. Ryan Tannehill's QB 21, 19.34 in week 1, 2.8 in week 2, 18.7 in week 3. I'd take him against the Colts, man. I'll take him against the Colts. Matt Ryan's QB 29, 12.2, 3.83, excuse me, 13.2 through the first 3 weeks. Tennessee's defense not great at all. Bad. The Tennessee Titans defense is allowing 28 points per game this season. Man, I don't want to trust Matt Ryan. I'm not completely against Zach Wilson, but maybe we give it a week to see how it goes. I would start Tannehill. There's an argument for any of those guys. Like, ceilings and floors are kind of close there. Bryce, but I probably go Tannehill. Brought to you by 904. Thanks for the info. Keep grinding, of course, bro. Appreciate that, man. Very kind of you. That's what we're here for. Bob Fishton, what's up, man? London or Olave? I go London this week. I go London. I'm a little bit worried about Olave with the quarterback change. I'm not completely out on Olave, but if you have better options, I go with the better option. I think London's a better option. Godfather, have a great night, man. Good luck to you this weekend if I don't talk to you tomorrow, man. Andrew, what's up, bro? Appreciate you being here. Back again requesting fantasy suggestion for this unpredictable week. Panthers #1, baby. Jared Goff or Stafford, man. I'd probably go Jared Goff. I don't like the game script for the Rams and the Niners too much. I don't see too many points scored there. I got a yucky feeling about that game outside of a couple players. And I don't love the quarterback matchup there. I go Goff. Will they let us know early if seems he is playing? If he's not starting, Wilson or Gibson? Man, I'd probably go Gibson. I'd probably go Gibson TS. I mean, dude, it's your guess compared to mine in terms of Christian McCaffrey. So let's see. The Panthers. Oh, yeah. I mean, they play at 4. Like, it's... Hopefully we get an update, man. Hopefully we get an update, but it's hard to say. Sometimes 4 o'clock games, we might find out tonight. We might not find out till 3 o'clock tomorrow. You know, like, it's tough. It's hard to say. I hope they do. It's going to affect a lot of fantasy rosters. Let's see here. Wilson or Gibson? I mean, I feel a little bit better about Gibson. But Wilson's fine. Wilson, 12.3 in week 2, 10.6. In week 3, the Rams are a top 10 run defense. But, I mean, where are the Cowboys overall? Dallas has a strong pass defense. They currently have the 4th fewest passing yards per game. But they are allowing the 10th most rushing yards per game in the NFL after 3 weeks. Gibson is at 20 in week 1, 12.1 in week 2, 11 in week 3 in terms of his points. I go Gibson. Go Gibson there. Let's see here. Dried Ocean, what's up, bro? Great to see you. What's up? What's up? Bryce, Khalil Herbert over Pierce this week. Yeah, I go Khalil Herbert. I love Herbert's a... Man, if Herbert has a bad game this week, you guys are going to hate me, but I think that's like a majority of fantasy, you know, advice out there is probably saying start Herbert. I love him this week. I think he's a phenomenal matchup. You know, the Giants, you know, just don't look good against the run. Pollard and Zeke last week just absolutely ran all over the place. So I love Herbert this week, man. I do. I like Pierce this week against the Chargers, but I go Herbert. Full PPR flex, start 1 Lazard, Isaiah McKenzie or Ayuk. I think McKenzie and Ayuk are fine flex options, man. Like, I'm not out on either of those players, but I go Lazard. I like Lazard this weekend. I do. Last week, 14.5 fantasy points. Week 2, 9.3 fantasy points. He's a good flex option, man. He at least has a touchdown in the last 2 games. So the New England's defense has held fantasy wide receivers to the 5th lowest points per game through 3 weeks. But Lazard's like your #1 red zone target through the passing game for Aaron Rodgers. And the Patriots defense looked bad last week. Could have been just a 1-week thing, but I'll bet against them, man. I go Lazard. Starting him in one of my leagues. J-Dub's 3-1 in 2 leagues, 2-1 in the other. 1-2 my main. JJ has been sandbagging. Yeah, that's your guy, man. That's your guy. JJ will be fine, though. I mean, you're doing well overall. Need to start one. Kirk, Olave, or Bateman. Man, I don't think you can bench Kirk. I go Kirk. Bateman I like a lot. Olave's doing great, but I go Kirk. Herbert over Williams. If it's Jamal Williams, I probably go Jamal. But I do think we're going to see a little bit of Craig Reynolds. I don't know. I might go Herbert there. Both are fine. Both are going to have good games. I do think we'll see some of Craig Reynolds, though. I do. Craig Reynolds, someone to keep an eye on. But Williams going to see the majority of the carries. But I just wonder if we see a lot of... like, if we see Craig Reynolds in the red zone, you know? Like, kind of like what we saw where Swift was getting the carries and then Williams was coming in the red zone. Like, I wonder if we kind of see that, or if we see the opposite. We see Reynolds, like, out on the field and then Williams in the red zone. I do think we'll see both, but I still like Williams quite a bit. I think I'll go Herbert, though. I'm very high on Herbert. I feel good about him. Shelton, you know, wide receiver 2. Curtis Samuel, DK Metcalf, or Bateman. All are fine. All are fine, man. I'm pretty high on Bateman this week. I feel good about Bateman. Metcalf scored last week, of course. He gets the Seahawks. Let's see. Detroit's defense has been leaky against the pass, allowing the 7th most fantasy points per game to opposing wideouts. It's not bad for Metcalf. I just don't want to bet on the Seahawks offense. And I'm starting Metcalf in the league this week, actually. Because I benched him last week, and now, I mean, I didn't lose, but I still benched him. Curtis Samuel's a good play. You know? Man, that's a tough one. I like Bateman's matchup the most, so I might go Bateman there. But there's an argument for any of these guys. I mean, like, I think Bateman and Samuel hold more upside, but all are fine here. That's a tough one, Shelton. I like Bateman this week. But, like, I like both those other receivers. That's a tough one because all these guys, like, could outscore each other. That's one we could go back and forth on all night. Ash, what's going on? Great to have you here. Hello, hello. Apple, Drake London, or Mike Williams full PPR? I'd probably go... Gosh. Listen, Drake London's a safer floor. Mike Williams is the upside play. Mike Williams has a far higher ceiling. I mean, Mike Williams against the Texans, I'd probably go Mike Williams. Alex, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Welcome to Catch Fam. Very, very kind of you. Gosh, I do like Drake London this week, though. But, like, Keenan Allen's out. London's wide receiver 15. Mike Williams, wide receiver 36. But Mike Williams had a down week last week. He's due for a good game. That's how it works, right? Like I said, Drake London's the floor, the safe play. Mike Williams, the upside play. Depends on how you want to roll for the week. Metcalf's on the bounce back. Seahawks have been getting more consistent, says J-Dubs. I do think that that's a fair point. CH or Singletary? Jeez. I go CH. But it's tough there. Like, it is. It's not a good matchup. Singletary probably is a better matchup in game script. Maybe go Singletary here. I mean, CH does not have a high ceiling versus the Bucs, man. Maybe go Singletary. Need a wide receiver 2. Who should I choose out of these 3? Gabe Davis, Allen Robinson, or Romeo Doobie? Romeo Dubs. I should probably just start calling him his real name. I would go Dubs and Gabe Davis for sure, Ander. Yeah, that is my starting lineup. I'm going with Dubs against the Patriots defense. I'm going with Gabe Davis for some really nice upside. I love that matchup. Do I like that matchup too much? What do you guys think? Bills, Ravens, I feel really good about overall. All right, Alex with the super chat, man. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of you, bro. Thank you so much. $2 dono. Let's go. Thanks, Alex. In my flex spot, should I start CH, Penny, or Ayuk? I like Ayuk this week, Alex. I would not start Penny. Like, I get that Penny has a pretty good matchup and everything, but Penny has just not been consistent enough on these seasons. So, I'm not a fan of Penny this week. I'm not. Penny's your RB49 in full PPR. 7.7 points in week 1, 1.5 in week 2, 7.9 in week 3. Detroit's defense, right, is allowing the most fantasy points per game to the position through 3 games. So Penny is in, like, a position to have that breakout game. So, like, is it going to hurt if he's on your bench? Potentially. But I just don't like Penny this week. Chat, let us know for Alex. Okay? Do you like Penny this week? He has not performed at all from a fantasy perspective. Would you consider him over Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who gets the Bucs, right? Or Ayuk, who gets the Rams? CH is your RB5. It's hard to bench him, right? But the Bucs defense, good, man. Allowing the 5th fewest rushing yards per game against the running back position, right? Edwards-Helaire is just risky this week. I just love that he managed 14.9 fantasy points last week off 0 rushing yards and had 7 rushing attempts. Found the end zone, 5 targets, 5 receptions, 39 receiving yards, had 14.9 fantasy points. It's just wild. But I would matchup based. I would not start Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week. I like Brandon Ayuk this week. I do like Brandon Ayuk this week. I think you have to bench CH here, Alex, against the Bucs. You just have to. It's not a good matchup. I'll say this much, Alex. I like Ayuk as a floor play. You know, like a safe 10 to 12 points. Hopefully he's a little bit more there against the Rams, who've been playing bad against the receiver position. I mean, look at Hollywood Brown last week, you know. Penny, you're rolling the dice, but you might get more upside. Based on matchup alone, you might get more upside, but I just don't trust Penny. If it was my roster, I just throw Ayuk in. Okay, he's a good flex option. Like, his floor has been safe enough in the last 3 weeks that you can feel safe going into the week, right? 6.7 in week 1, but that's the rain game. Like, maybe we don't really count that. 11.3 in week 2, 12.9 in week 3, right? At least 8 targets in his last 2 games, okay? And yeah, the Rams defense has been playing well, but not against the pass. Not against the pass. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's playing fine. And there's a chance that we see a Ramsey on Ayuk at points throughout this game with the way they line up Debo. But I like Ayuk this week. I'll go Ayuk here. If you guys send me a super chat, I'm going to try and dive a little bit deeper here. But I go Ayuk. I go Ayuk, Alex. Argument for Penny. CH I leave on the bench. Thank you so much again for the $2 dono. Very kind of you, Alex. Hope that answer was helpful for you. All right, let's see here. Mac Hollins or Palmer? Deep league, full PPR. Albert, I would go Josh Palmer. I'm not out on Mac Hollins. I want to say a little bit more of a sample size, but I don't like him against the Broncos defense. He had a good game last week, man. I go Palmer against the Texans. Secret, hey Catch, would you play Deontay and C-Pat over Smith, Palmer, and Penny? I might. Deontay, the weather's not supposed to be good. He gets Sauce Gardner. So, like, you could bench him. But I would probably go... I would play C-Pat this week against the Browns, who are probably going to not have Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett out there. I would go C-Pat. I'll go C-Pat over Penny, personally. Yeah. I'll go C-Pat. Deontay, like, I like on a weekly basis, but this week you could probably leave him off, right? Alex with another $2 dono. Very kind to you, bro. Of course, man. I got you. That's what we're here for. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad that was appreciated. The double super chat. Super appreciated, man. Very kind to you. Let's get some goat emojis in the chat for Alex, man. Let's go. None of these are goats. These are all the Catch fam member emojis. I can find a goat, right? I always have trouble navigating. I just want to find the goat. I found a penguin. I can never find the goat. Here's a poodle. Alright, now I'm like determined. Oh, there we go, baby. I found the goat. Let's go. Thank you, Alex. Let's go, let's go. Thank you guys. I have a couple super chats tonight, man. Anthony, thank you for the super chat earlier as well. You guys are the best, man. Appreciate you guys. Alright, Sport Dog. John, I'm using Pitts as tight end, but I could go with Everett. What are your thoughts? I stick with Pitts by a hair. I like what we saw out of Pitts last week, but I like Everett against the Texans. Don't get me wrong. It's full PPR. Ride or die with Pitts, right? 87 receiving yards in week 3. Gets Cleveland. I go Pitts this week. But I do like Everett this week. He's tied in 8. Let's see. Keenan Allen's out, of course. Houston's actually been pretty good against opposing tight ends. But they haven't had, like, very stout matchups at the position. I go Pitts. I go Pitts. But Everett's okay. Anderson's Panthers are making playoffs. They might. You never know. It's early in the season. Let's see here. CCAC Sports. Jacobs versus Denver. ETN. Or Ramondre in half PPR. I mean, Jacobs had a better week. I go Josh Jacobs. I just don't trust the usage. Again, you know, with the other 2 backs there. And at least Jacobs had a better week in week 3, right? I mean, that was against the Titans. So the Broncos have a good run defense. But at least Jacobs showed some value through the air last week. Like, he's still a low-end RB2. But I just don't trust the usage for Travis Etienne or Ramondre Stevenson. Like, I'll say this much. You know, like, if you're not confident in Josh Jacobs, then maybe go Ramondre. But I just don't like the Patriots offense this week. So I will go Jacobs. But I'm not in love with it, man. I don't think you're in love with any of these options, right? But by a hair. Like, I mean, you could flip a coin here. Like, any of these running backs have a chance to score more points than the other. It's tough there, man. I go Jacobs because I do think that if and when the Raiders are in the red zone, he has a better chance to get handed the rock with James Robinson in front of ETN and Harris in front of Ramondre. So I go Jacobs, but I don't love it. And I'm sure you don't either, man. Patrick, what's up, bro? Starters are Eagles. Let's go. Just start the Eagles. I'm kidding. Eagles defense, Brady, Chubb, Henry, Brown, Pittman, Kelsey. Need a flex. Robinson, Patty and Cheese, Wilson, Curtis Samuel. Had to sit Amon Ra. Yeah, it is sad, but your team is looking pretty good overall. I go Patterson. Like, all these plays are fine, man. I'll go Patterson, though. I like Patterson this week. Guys, I loved Patterson last year. Okay? And I liked him at the beginning of the offseason. He's RB7 in PPR. RB4 in standard. And I came off of him, man. I got shook. Shouldn't have let it happen. We haven't seen that regression we thought we would. Do I pick Goff over Tannehill and Matt Ryan, even with St. Brown and Swift out? It's a good point. You know, in terms of not playing Goff. I did mention that in the QB video, didn't I? You know, the bigger, well, maybe not the bigger issue, but DJ Chark does technically have an ankle injury. And Hawkinson was on the injury report, and Josh Reynolds is probably going to play through an injury. But Chark being banged up, Hawkinson and Reynolds still technically being banged up worries me. On top of Swift and Amon Ra being out, of course. So the upside's not really there. While it is like it's a good matchup from a fantasy perspective against the Seahawks. So Bryce, I don't know if you get that much more upside out of Tannehill, though. I think Tannehill, if you have to, I think you go Tannehill or Goff. You don't go Matt Ryan in my eyes. But gosh, man, I do have a feeling we're going to see some weird scores in Week 4, and I can see that Colts-Titans game I just am not a crazy fan of. I'm just not. That's just a weird game script for me, man. I can just see things going like not how we expected. But anyways, I don't think you need to go Goff over Tannehill and Matt Ryan this week, but you could, you know. Tannehill's fine. Kels, A.J. Dillon or Ramondre Stevenson the flex? I go A.J. Dillon by a hair. You know, both are kind of in a committee situation here, but I'll go with the Packers offense overall in comparison to the Patriots. So I'll go Dillon. Andrea, have a great night. Appreciate you being here. Always appreciate you being here. Sport Dog second league, 12-team happy PR. Need 2 receivers, Mike Williams, Olave, or Cooks. Mike Williams and Olave. Easy for me there, Sport Dog. I'll go with those 2 for sure. All right, let's see. I lost my spot in the chat. And we've got another super chat. Let's go. CCAC Sports. Thank you so much, man. 279. What a guy. Very, very kind of you, man. I really appreciate that. Let's see here. 279 Dono. What a guy. All right. Ramondre, Olave, Lazard, Godwin, happy PR. Man, I want to trust Godwin this week. I just don't think I can do it. He's still listed as questionable. He's likely a game time decision, so you have to leave Godwin on your bench, right, at the moment. Listen, for me, it's between Olave and Lazard. I think Lazard's the safer play, right? So if you need it, this is like a flex option, which it probably is if you've got Ramondre included in here. Lazard's a safe play, and Olave's the upside, undoubtedly, right? Olave, 26 targets in the last 2 weeks, but the only issue, like, if this would be easy, right, if Jameis Winston was starting, because we know what to expect. We don't know what to expect with Andy Dalton at quarterback and Winston sitting. But I will say, I feel like these London games, defenses go out the window. I could see Olave having a good game. It's half PPR too. Half PPR, the touchdowns matter. Maybe I go Lazard here. Maybe I go Lazard. Because I think he's got a better chance of finding the end zone. Overall, Lazard, Olave, Ramondre, then Godwin. Because we just can't trust the game time decision for Godwin, you know what I mean? And, like, don't get me wrong, man, in a half PPR league, it's probably pretty tempting to throw Ramondre Stevenson potentially in your lineup, especially with the 20-point performance against Baltimore last week. But I think a lot of that had to do with game script, right? And I don't think the game script against Green Bay this week with Mac Jones not in the game is, like, I don't think it's a good game script. And you still have Harris in front of him. That's the frustrating thing, like in a half PPR league, or even, especially in a standard league, but still in half PPR, like, if you own a running back, it's just really hard to not stop them because touchdowns do bring more value, you know? So, it's tough, man. I get that Ramondre is probably tempting here, but personally, I'll go Lazard. Olave's fine. Like I said, Lazard, the safer floor. It's a good matchup. It's a good game script. For the Packers, that is. Olave's okay, but you just got to understand if you play Olave, we don't know exactly what to expect with Andy Dalton at quarterback. So, there's my answer. I hope it was helpful, my guy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Very, very kind of you, bro. If it was my roster, I'm probably going with Lazard there. When Winston is back, I'm probably going to Olave. Adam, need a flex, full PPR, Madison, Robinson, DJ Moore, Elijah Moore, Romeo Dubs. I go Romeo Dubs here. Yep. I go Romeo Dubs. J-Dubs, no rush. Can we can squeeze in a small review of your best ball teams at the end. So, J-Dubs, do you want to look at my best ball teams, or do you want to look at the Catch Fam best ball teams? Like, just ones that the Catch Fam are in. Mine are... I'll pull up either one, man. Let me know. When I get to you in the chat, then we'll look at it then. How's that sound? It wouldn't hurt if I just looked at all of them, right? Because that kind of, like, hits both sides. Kyler Murray or Jared Goff? I go Kyler Murray this week. I go Kyler Murray this week for sure, man. Gabe Davis or Curtis Samuel? Derek, I go Gabe Davis. Love the matchup. Love the upside. I think Davis... if Davis comes in this game healthy, I think he scores. Ander, who should I choose at tight end? Njoku or Goddard? I would go Goddard. Goddard's way safer. Let's get a better sample size out of Njoku. I don't want to overreact to what we saw last week. I would go Goddard for sure. I can only choose one wide receiver out of them. It's Romeo Doubs, Gabe Davis. Who would you say is high upside this week so I can make the best selection? Gabe Davis for sure. Gabe Davis for sure, Ander. Go Goddard and Gabe Davis. I think we hit this one, Sport Dog. Olave and Mike Williams for sure. Reynolds, Doubs, or Metcalf? I go Metcalf. I go Metcalf there. Go Metcalf, then Doubs and Reynolds. Chase, start 3 in full PPR. Mike Williams, Curtis Samuel, Hollywood, Bateman, Dubé. Mike Williams, Bateman, and Hollywood for me. It's a really good position to be in. Samuel or Doubs are fine, but I go Mike Williams, Bateman, and Hollywood. Pray A.J. Brown or Gabe Davis. You still have to go A.J. Brown there. Still have to go A.J. Brown. Should I start Mike Williams over Zay Jones? Yes. Yes, you should definitely start Mike Williams over Zay Jones. I just lost my spot. Here we go. Flex, half PPR, start Breece, Elijah Moore, Ayuk, Reynolds, or Dortch. I go Breece Hall there. Yeah, for half PPR, I definitely go Breece Hall there. Hawkinson or Njoku, I go Hawkinson. Am I too low on Njoku? I don't like the sample size we have. Am I too low? Aaron Reborn, some dude is offering me Derrick Henry, Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton for Kelsey. What do you think? I don't hate it, but it would suck if it on Kelsey, but I have Higbee as my backup. Ooh, man. I really don't like trading Travis Kelsey. You just have to think about the positional value on a weekly basis. Aaron Reborn. What's up, man? It's good to see you, by the way. Hey, let us know your full roster. It depends on your full roster. Like, Higbee's fine, but, like, is Higbee Kelsey? No. I mean, we all know that, right? But it depends on the rest of your roster. That's a tough one. Alex with another $2 don't know. What a guy. Alex hitting us with the super chats tonight. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate that. It really does help. Got another question. Tanyan or Conklin? Conklin creeping into the conversation again, man. Listen, I probably do go Tyler Conklin here. I'm a little cautious of Tyler Conklin. We can talk about him in a second. Robert Tanyan is a good streaming option this week, though. The Patriots have actually given up the 4th most fantasy points to the tight end position, and they've surrendered the most touchdowns overall. No, the most touchdowns to tight ends over the past 3 weeks. So Tanya is a good streaming option. Huh. The issue with Conklin, right? Who's a good option this week as well. But we just don't know what this Jets offense is going to look like with Zach Wilson at the helm. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, the same chemistry and connections that Flacco had with pass catchers is not going to be the same as Wilson, you know? But Conklin is your tight end 4 overall. Like, let's not get that twisted, right? I'd probably go Conklin because the sample size feels a little bit more consistent here. But I don't mind Tanyan. If it's my roster, Alex, I'd probably go Conklin. Okay? Chat, let us know. Let us know. Tanyan or Conklin, who would you start? All right, let's see here. Yeah, Aaron Reborn, depends on the rest of your roster. I go Mike Williams over Zay Jones. Pray and Chase like the trade. I want to go Geno Smith or Daniel Jones, Bryce. Best Dogs likes the trade as well. Yes, I just got the CMC update. Thank you, Albert. So CMC likely to play in week 4. 4 minutes ago. Even Sleepers got it now. There you go, CMC owners. CMC is likely to play. There's good news. Unless you went and picked up Chuba Hubbard or Donta Foreman. But yeah, there's some good news. RBs currently are Najee Harris, Monty, but I'm playing Herbert since he's out. It depends on your receivers too. I mean, yeah, like, it's good value for Kelsey. What's the other team going to end up with? Like, they're trading both their starting running backs. Here's the thing, like, it is good value, but you don't want to end up like I will say running back's so freaking vulnerable, you know, like, but like if you end up with like 6 starting running backs, it's like you only start half of them. Like, it helps your bench. I mean, having a deep bench is good. I don't hate the trade, but I don't like losing Kelsey. I just really don't. I don't. Hurts me inside. The positional value you get on a weekly basis if you have Andrews or Kelsey is ridiculous. It really is. Kelsey, 54.1 points in PPR. Andrews is ahead at 64.8. I was curious there. We got you, Ander, of course, man. Homer Simpson, what's up, man? I've got to start 3. Olave, Zeke, Patterson, Godwin, Deontay Johnson, Julio, assuming they all play in half PPR. I go Patterson, Olave. Last one's tough, man. Last one's tough. Zeke gets the Commanders. Like, it's the type of game where Zeke comes up big, right? And he fades away for 2 or 3 weeks. At least in terms of his ceiling. I go Olave and Patterson and Zeke. I don't mind Deontay Johnson, though. But from a half PPR perspective, he hasn't been great. And then going up against Sauce Gardner and potentially some rain. Like, I go Olave, Zeke, and Patterson. Godwin is it might be a game time decision. So, like, we just can't wait, you know. We just, like, in case he's out. Then I guess you can start Julio, which isn't the worst option, actually. If you feel good about the Bucs offense in this matchup, maybe you go with that game plan. But, like, let's just double check Julio, because I'm still not sure what's going on there. I mean, he's still questionable, and he's likely a game time decision at the moment. That could change, right? But then yeah, scratch that. No Bucs players here. Go Zeke, Olave, Patterson. Joshua, Trey Pittman, and CMC for Higgins, Javonte, and Dubs. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I don't want to trade CMC just yet. With Dalvin not 100%, do I start Cooks or Pierce? I would start Dalvin. The Saints haven't been good against the running back position. And Dalvin Cook played through this injury last year. I go Dalvin Cook. And all right, Catch fam, I'm heading out, getting some sleep to be up for a 9 a.m. game tomorrow. Hoping Saints lose so my Panthers can maintain second place in the NFC South Conference. Let's go, man. Have a great night. Appreciate you being here. And I never wake up early for London games, so kudos to you for doing so. All right, Aaron Reborn, Brady, Harris, Monty, Deontay, Allen Robinson, Kelsey, Dobbins, Herbert, Higbee, Burks, Jones, Elijah Moore. Okay, this trade does help your team. It does help your team. I hate trading Kelsey. But Aaron Reborn, I mean, what's your record? I would imagine you're kind of hurting right now. right? It's okay. Last question. Is it full PPR? And what's your record? If you're hurting and it's full PPR, I very rarely am I gonna say you can trade Travis Kelce, but like right here it actually makes sense. Like if you need to win, 2-1 currently is full PPR. Okay, you're not in the worst position. I was just wondering, like Brady, Harris, and Monty not having crazy ceilings, Deontay Johnson, Allen Robinson not having crazy ceilings. I was just wondering, like, you might be kind of hurting here. If you feel good about the trade, I do think it helps your overall roster. You're going to have to drop 2 players, though, right? You're going to have to drop 2 players, right? So what, you drop Marvin Jones and Burks or Elijah Moore? I don't know if I drop Elijah Moore because I do think he has good chemistry with Zach Wilson. But I wouldn't drop him just yet. He did have 9 targets last week. Which is good. I want to drop more. Just putting that out there. I think you can consider this trade, but don't let me be the final factor. Make sure you feel good about it overall. And you just have to understand, man, if you trade Kelce, you just have to understand on a weekly basis, like, you can't be upset, right? Because you're going to be watching what he does on a weekly basis. So, and you have to understand, like, the positional advantage and the fact that you don't have to worry a tight end, like, at all if you trade away Kelce. Like, you have to understand what it does, you know. But if it's full PPR, I think Higbee gets you through, and this trade does help the rest of your roster. And just understand, like, you're not gonna have another tight end on your roster this year like Kelce. You're not gonna be able to trade for Andrews unless you give up half your team, or Kelce, like what you're getting for Kelce. So, I do think you'll have some ammo at running back if you really did want to make another trade. But I think, like, Harris, Javonte, Monty, Herbert, and Henry, right? Like, I mean, and Dobbins. Like, yeah, you got some firepower there, man. But, like, overall, there's still some shakiness there in terms of injuries. So you probably just keep them, right? We all know John is reading the questions and asking Steven because Steven is the brains. Yeah, Steven's in my... I've got a tiny earpiece. He's channeled in and he hears what I'm saying. He tells me what to say. Sutton or Derrick Henry in the flex, full PPR. Man, I don't know how I feel about benching Derrick Henry. Just the potential ceiling. We saw it last week. He had 6 targets, 5 receptions. The Colts are 3rd against opposing running backs, though. So it is a little tough. I don't know if you can bench him, man. 54 rushing attempts through 3 games. I don't know if you can bench him. But I understand, like, Cortland Sutton, full PPR. Wide receiver 18, 28 targets, 19 receptions, 291 receiving yards. So 11.2 fantasy points week 1, 19.7 in week 2, 17.7 in week 3. Let's see. The Raiders are allowing 267 passing yards per game. I'll say this much, man. The safer floor is Sutton. The upside lies with Henry. I don't know if I want to call it Henry, but maybe, or upside for Henry, but maybe the higher ceiling lies with Henry. So I don't think I could bench Henry, but Sutton is a fine play. If you are at that point, then where you don't feel confident in Henry, like, you can still win with Sutton, but you just have to understand if Henry's on your bench, like, you gotta understand who's on your bench, right? What he can do. Jamal Williams or Mike Evans? That's a tough one. Safer floor, Mike Evans. More upside, Jamal Williams. What's up, Tanner? PPR pick 2. What's up, Super C and B Challengers? Christian Kirk, Deontay, Mike Williams, Olave. I go Kirk and Mike Williams here. Olave with Andy Dalton at quarterback. It's a little bit of a downgrade. Not a huge downgrade, but a little bit. Deontay gets Sauce Gardner. The offense is meh. Ceiling's not great. Might be rainy. I go Kirk and Mike Williams here, man. Breece Hall or Curtis Samuel. Both are fine. I might go Curtis Samuel here, but I like Breece Hall this week. Both are fine. What's up, AGZ? Great to have you. What's up, bro? Have Gus and Jameson Williams on my R, but I'm having trouble deciding who to drop to put Dak and Renfrow. QB is hurts. I'm 3-0 right now. Any thoughts? Yo, how bad would it hurt your roster to trade Dak and Renfrow? Just go out fishing. Like, go out and get a player who's not hurt, who brings value to your roster. How bad would it hurt you? I mean, you got Hurts, right? Like, you're fine at quarterback. It's nice to have to some degree, to have a QB2 in case of injury, but, like, you got to worry about week 7. Don't get me wrong. And Dak might not be ready by then. You know, who knows what's really going on with Dak. We got Jerry Jones in front of things. So, week 7 is Hurts' bye week. So, I mean, that might solve your problem if you can ship out Renfrow and Dak. Like, Renfrow is not having a great season. I still believe in him. But if you want to keep Jameson Williams and Gus, like, if I'm truly going to drop a player here, it's probably Gus Edwards, because I'm not crazy about the running backs on the Ravens. And I do think if anyone takes off, it's Dobbins. But I like Jameson Williams. He's worth keeping. So, listen, I don't quite know that Renfrow will get picked up if you drop him. 4.1 fantasy points in week 1, 8.9 in week 2. He's going to miss week 4. They face Kansas City in week 5. I don't know if he'll get picked up heading into week 5. And then week 6, he's on bye week. And he gets Houston, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Indy the next couple weeks. And Mac Hollins is on the rise. Man, oh gosh. You guys know Hunter Renfrow is one of my favorite mid to late round targets in the offseason. So, I don't know, man. I think if you really need to drop someone, or you need to drop 2, it's probably Gus and Renfrow for me. But you could always go fishing. You could try and trade 2 injured players and just get a healthy player, even if they don't bring, a ton of value to your roster. Probably not, in terms of upside, the best idea, but... Caleb, what's up, man? Great to have you. What's up? Did I win this trade rest of the season? Trade away Stafford and Hall, got Cooks and Jamal Williams. I have Burrow. I don't mind the swap, swapping out Stafford. I'd rather have Breece Hall overall. In terms of, like, potential upside on the season, I'd probably go Breece Hall. But Jamal Williams is good here. Like, I'm not crazy about Brandon Cooks, but, like, if you don't need Stafford, which, like, if you have Burrow, you don't, right? So, like, Cooks is a fair swap there, because if he can start to get a little bit more consistent and give us closer ceilings to what we saw in week 1, then Cooks is going to be a good trade for you. Now, swapping Williams for Hall, like I said, overall in the season, I feel pretty good about Hall, right? In terms of what he can do, in terms of becoming a true RB1, right? I mean, Carter's still there, I get it, but Jamal Williams, on the other hand, still has Swift in front of him when Swift is healthy. But Williams is your RB8 in full PPR. Like, let's not get twisted. Swift is RB6. Williams still playing good football. So let's not get that twisted. So I do like Jamal Williams, and I do think even if Swift is healthy, like, Williams still going to get a lot of work. So I don't hate the trade, man. I'm just trying to pick it apart here. If it didn't hurt, like, if you don't need Breece Hall, it didn't hurt you, because you don't need Stafford. That's the bottom line, right? You swapped Hall for Williams. You got a skill position player for Stafford when you didn't need him. So it is a good trade. Rest of season, though, is the key part you asked. I think Hall has the potential to be the most valuable player on either side of the trade for the rest of the season. If that makes sense. Little Bunny Hop, what's up, bro? John, I'm drunk. Let me join the stream. What's up, bro? Great to have you here, man. Well, you're part of the stream. You know, as long as you're in the chat. What's up, bro? Always great to have you. Should I start Josh Reynolds over Michael Carter or A.J. Dillon? I don't know what that noise was I just made, but that's a tough question, bro. That's a tough cookie. No Swift or Monra or Chark. Yeah, Goff and him definitely go back to the Rams days. But he is questionable. It's a great matchup. Listen, man, if it's full PPR and he's listed as healthy by tomorrow, yeah. Because Carter and Dillon, you got cap ceilings, man. So, yeah, if it's full PPR, he's listed as healthy, yes. Carter, 5.6 points last week. He's just boomer bust till Hall takes the backfield. Right? A.J. Dillon gone the same way. Yeah, if it's full PPR, he's listed as healthy, I say yes. Top 3 receivers are CD, Devonta Smith, and Jerry Jeudy. Should I trade 2 of them for a better wide receiver option? No. I keep CD and Devonta Smith. Jeudy, you can ship around if you want to. But I keep CD and Devonta Smith for sure. You're in a good spot there, man. You are. I wouldn't feel bad about those 2 guys as my 1 and 2. Judy's who's letting you down. But I'll say this much, man. Jeudy might kind of bounce back here in week 4. So, hold off. See what happens in week 4. He might have a really good game against the Raiders. But no, I don't think you need to make a trade here unless you want to make Jeudy a part of a package. And I don't think you should trade CeeDee Lamb or Devonta Smith. Yeah, Bunny Hop. Reynolds been playing fine. I've had him in at least one of the last 2 waiver wire videos, but maybe the last 2. I've always been a fan of that connection. It's a sneaky connection, man. Dante, what's up, bro? Great to have you. Standard League, Jacobs, Gabe Davis, Penny, Josh Reynolds, or Grigid D. I go Gabe Davis here. I go Davis, then Penny or Jacobs. Reynolds or Dorter, full PPR plays for me. Just not a lot of consistency there in terms of finding the end zone. So, I go Gabe Davis in this matchup, man. I like Gabe Davis this week. What's up, Dante? Good to have you here. Rockstar, we got you, bro. Of course. Zeke or J-Rob? Woo! I'd probably go J-Rob. Probably go J-Rob, but you can go Zeke here. It's Commanders. Type of game where Zeke's going to show up, right? And the game script is there. But I go J-Rob, man. I can't. I'm starting J-Rob this week in what I consider my most important matchup of the week. I just can't bench J-Rob right now. But Zeke's okay. Who'd y'all start this week? What's up, Mr. Matt J. Kemp? Russ, Goff, or Kirk? Guys, I hate the Broncos offense right now. I hate it. But I think Russell Wilson's a good start this week. I do. I do. Goff kind of in a banged up receiving core. Captain Kirk gets the Saints, but it's in London. Not a lot of defense hanging around. It's an early game. There's travel. I think I have to go Russ here. I'd probably go Russ, then Kirk, then Goff. Chat, what do you think? Russell Wilson, Goff, or Kirk? Who would you pick? Tanner, I have Cook, Chubb, Debo, A.J. Brown, Jamal, or Evans at the flex. I'm thinking Jamal because there isn't really other options for the Lions. Well, I agree with Jamal Williams here. Evans is okay, don't get me wrong. But I agree with Jamal Williams here, but there is another option. Like Craig Reynolds is a great backup running back. And I believe in Craig Reynolds, don't get me wrong. But Williams will get the bulk of the work. Just don't forget last year when Swift was out. I'm going to fact check myself. So Swift missed weeks 13 through 16 last season. Okay, week 14, Craig Reynolds had 11.9 points. Week 15, he had 12.7. Week 16, he had 8.1 last year. He didn't play in week 13. So Craig Reynolds, and I mean like, he had 83 rushing yards in week 14, 112 in week 14. Didn't play so well against Atlanta, but I don't remember that game. Maybe Jamal Williams. I mean, I guess I could check. I'm already here, right? Jamal Williams had 77 rushing yards that week. And, like, through that stretch, Jamal had 71 rushing yards. Oh, Jamal got hurt, though. That's what happened. That's right. Jamal had 71 rushing yards in week 13 last year. Then he got hurt. That's when we saw Craig Reynolds really come on. I don't know if you guys remember, but the waiver wire got crazy. Like, there's multiple Lions running backs, and it was like, pick up this one, and then another one balled out. Then Craig Reynolds played just fine through that stretch as well. Craig Reynolds is an option for the Lions, bottom line. But I still agree with all of that. All that said, I still agree with Jamal Williams. I just wanted to point out that it's very possible, you know, and that was like going in the season, we saw a lot of people drafting Jamal Williams as a like true handcuff, right? Like that's why they were drafting him at the end of mock drafts. And I just tried to make it clear, like, well, Jamal Williams was not the only running back involved last year when Swift was hurt. But part of that was because Williams was hurt, right? So, but I do think we'll see some Craig Reynolds in this game. I mean, especially after Hard Knocks, right? Reynolds is very much featured on Hard Knocks this year as well. All right, Zachary, DK or Gabe Davis? DK's a safe floor. Gabe Davis is the upside. I'd probably go Gabe Davis against the Ravens. I like this matchup quite a bit. Nobody wants Dak or Renfrow right now. LOL, thanks, Ben. Yeah, that probably makes sense. I don't know, man. I was just thinking, like, well, if you can fish them out there and just get, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, Michael Carter, Henderson, just somebody like that you can store on your roster. Treylon Burks. That was my thought process. But, yeah, if I had to drop two, it'd be Gus Edwards and Renfrow for you. TX Ninja in the house. What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? I appreciate you guys being here, man. How's everyone doing tonight? Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for spending part of your Saturday night here at the channel. It really does mean a lot to me, man. Appreciate all you guys in the chat who are keeping the conversation going. I really do, man. Who do you like for defensive stream this week? Vikings or Broncos? I'd probably go the Vikings if I had to choose between either one. Broncos are fine, but like literally, like from a fantasy perspective, I mean, they're not doing anything. Okay, they did have 17 points last week. I'm sorry. 9 and 7. 7 in week 1, 9 in week 2. I did not realize they had 17 points last week, so that's on me. But Minnesota Vikings, 13 in week 1, 7 week 2, 2 in week 3. I don't know, man. I'd probably go the Broncos, but I wouldn't expect a crazy high ceiling. I take that back. I go the Broncos. I don't have a good feeling about this London game in terms of defense. I go the Broncos. Of course, Stevens' must-start defenses are out for the week, and he does have some streaming options, like 2 streaming options at the end. So there's always a great breakdown on defenses by Steven each week, of course. Caleb, we got you, bro, of course. Albert, Hollywood Brown and Rondell Moore expected to play tomorrow. Thank you for the update, man. Always appreciate the great updates, Albert. And that probably impacts Greg Dortch. But I do think that we'll probably see Rondell Moore kind of, you know, maybe not on a snap count, but kind of just slowly, you know, paced back into this game, so to speak. My bad, I meant Carr, Kirk, or Russ. Man, I roll the dice on Russ this week. I'm trying to go against some of my gut feeling here, and like, I hate the Broncos offense. Oh, no, yawn. Oh my gosh. I'm not even tired, I swear, but that was a real yawn. I hate them, man. But I go Russ here. I don't know, Mr. Match A. Kim. I have Carr and Kirk in one of my leagues. I went like 0 quarterback there. And I actually put that on Discord earlier in the fantasy talk. So in the vote, only 2 people voted, but they both voted for Cousins. And it's a tougher matchup, if I'm not mistaken, for Carr against the Broncos. So, but I'd probably go Russ. The Raiders defense not playing well. Schultz or Njoku this week. I think if Schultz is healthy, I would go Schultz. I mean, Schultz is definitely the safer floor play, and Njoku's the upside play. I'd probably go Schultz. All right, Bunny Hop over which one, though? I have both Carter and Dillon at flex. I also have Godwin. If Godwin and Reynolds are healthy, would you start both over Dillon and Carter? Well, here's a problem, Bunny Hop. Godwin's a game-time decision, and he plays Sunday night. So, like, I don't know if you can go with that game plan, man. I would probably start Dillon and Reynolds. And, like, yeah, it's going to hurt. Like, Godwin might play, and it's going to hurt, you know, like, if he has a good game. But, like, you just can't bank on a game-time decision unless we get an update tomorrow before kickoff, which I doubt we will. You know, like, they have the time to evaluate, and they're probably going to need to see him in warm-ups and everything. So, and even then, there is a risk of re-injury. Like, Godwin's starting to scare me this season, and I'm still stashing him on one of my rosters. You know? Anyways, to answer your question, I probably would... I'll keep Dillon. I like this matchup for Dillon. I think he has a strong chance of a bounce-back week, hopefully. And I know you want to root for your team, too. But I will go Reynolds over Carter if I had to pick one. What should I do with ETN? Draft him early, and he's been a bust. My other 2 RBs are CMC and Dillon. You can try and ship ETN. Like, there are fantasy managers who want to buy ETN low. But I think the other option is you probably just leave him on your bench and you wait and see what happens. There's still time for ETN to get more involved, but it's just pretty clear that, like, James Robinson's the guy right now, right? But ETN did have 10.5 fantasy points in week 3 in full PPR, so... Philly's a tough matchup, so I think you're also waiting past this week, right? But then he gets Houston, Indy, the Giants. Indy's a tough matchup. He gets the Giants. Denver's a tough matchup. He gets the Raiders. Like, literally, man. Philly's a tough matchup. Then he gets Houston. It's a good matchup. Then he gets Indy. It's a bad matchup. Then he gets the Giants. It's a good matchup. Then he gets Denver. Bad matchup. Then he gets Vegas. It's a good matchup. Then you get Kansas City. They're kind of middle. And then you get a bye week. So, like, you should have some opportunities to evaluate how he plays against good teams and bad teams. I think you just hold on to him for now. And I think he is a good handcuff at the end of the day, right? Let's see here. Keenan and David are out. I need to fill wide receiver 2 and flex. My options are Hollywood, Zay Jones, and Mac Hollins. I would go, personally, with Hollywood Brown for sure at wide receiver 2. Not even a question for me. Zay Jones might draw a little bit of Darius Slay in this game because, as we talked about earlier, Christian Kirk lines up in the slot a lot. So, man, I'd throw a dart throw this week and try and get some upside out of Mac Hollins. Zay Jones is fine, but you're going to need him to find the end zone. So I'd probably go Hollywood and Mac Hollins. And I'm just a little hesitant about Mac Hollins, but... I go Mac Hollins here, and I definitely go Hollywood Brown. Wide receivers are Keenan Allen, Amon-Ra, T. Higgins, Drake London, Gabe Davis in a 1-flex league. What tight end can I get for those players? Well, it just depends. And I think you keep Amon-Ra. I think you keep T. Gosh, this is a good receiving core. Okay, but if you really need a tight end, like, you got ammo here, man. Like, you got the firepower. Like, Gabe Davis and Drake London, like, dude, you can get... You're not going to get Kelsey or Andrews, but if Pitts has a bad week this week, you can get Pitts. You can get Kittle, but I don't know if I love it. You could probably get Darren Waller, especially if he has a down week this week after having one last week. I think you can get Hawkinson. I think you can get Schultz. I think you can get Goddard. I would try to get Goddard. Ertz is another player who's quietly having a phenomenal season. He's tight end 3. Like, full PPR-wise, right? Ertz is going to be harder to trade for, but it's possible. I think go for Goddard, man. Yeah, like, you've got the ammo there, man. You can go out and get just about anyone except for Kelsey and Andrews. Unless he just offered, like, I mean, Amon-Ra, T. Higgins, and Gabe Davis. Like, you could probably actually get Kelsey or Andrews, but I wouldn't do that. You know, like, I like Drake London. I like all these players. But you can trade 2 of them if you really need a tight end. Metcalf or Zeke and half PPR. I mean, Anthony, I'd probably go Metcalf against the Lions. But I do have a feeling, as we've discussed here tonight, that Zeke could have a decent game here. Do I trade Barkley, Thomas, and Deontay for Sanders, Dobbins, and Diggs? No. I mean, Mitchell, here's what you got to look at. You're swapping RB1 and Barkley for wide receiver 1 and Diggs. Then you're losing 2 receivers in Thomas and Deontay and gaining 2 running backs. So, like, your running back value dips. Your wide receiver value increases. But I think I'd rather have Michael Thomas, I know he's injured, and Deontay Johnson than Miles Sanders and Dobbins. Barkley or Diggs, like, I mean, like, you just have upside at one position versus another. I'll say this much, man. If you're really concerned about Barkley getting injured, then maybe you do the trade. But like, your running back value dramatically dips. It depends on the rest of your roster, I guess. But overall, I'd probably hold Barkley, Thomas, and Deontay. Big Ham subscribing to the channel. Let's go, baby. Thank you so much. Welcome to Catch Fam. Let's go. Very kind of you, man. Welcome to it. Zachary, do you think CMC is going to play? If he does, do you think he will finish the game? CMC is expected to play. Yes. Yeah, I think he'll be all right, man. So, listen, CMC, you know, thigh injury. This is CMC for you, man. Like, he's going to miss time. He's going to be questionable. I don't even know if he's going to miss time, but, like, he's going to be questionable. He's going to have injuries pop up, right? Like, and you just got to think, man, a lot of these top running backs, man. Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Mixon, Swift, Kamara, Barkley, Fournette, Connor, Monty. Mitchell's on IR. I don't know if he's a top running back, but, like, you have a tier of running backs who are going to miss time and going to be questionable and going to be kind of aggravating from a fantasy perspective. And CMC is definitely one of them. I think he'll be fine if he suits up. But you never know. You never know, man. All right, let's see here. Drafted Swift in the second, picked up Williams a day before the season started. Yeah, man, that's the best possible scenario, right? Tanner, yeah, I went on a huge tangent about Craig Reynolds. My bad. But I'm glad that you found it helpful. Let's see. Chicks Ninja, I was watching that but saw you were live, so I came to join. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's see. Yeah, it's a great point, Derek. Like, no one really knows. CMC could not finish the game. I mean, that's fair. Would you say he's a must start? Yeah. Like, if you own CMC, like, and he's listed as healthy for the week, you have to start Christian McCaffrey, right? Like, there's no reason not to. I mean, I guess there is reason to consider it, but if you own him, you just have to start him. It's that simple, right? I'm still complimenting who to put at flex, Juju or Dubs. I go Dubs, personally. I mean, the Patriots did not look good defensively last week whatsoever. And it's just a good game script. Like, the Packers should be able to come out and score some points early. And maybe, like, I mean, I don't know if the Patriots are going to be able to keep up. I don't even know if they're going to get garbage time points. We'll see what Brian Hoyer can do, but I believe in the Packers defense this week, man. I will go Dubs. I think with Juju, like, you just come in with a low ceiling and not even a great floor, you know? So personally, I go Dubs, right? I mean, Juju, 9.9 in week 1, 4 in week 2, 13.9 in week 3. Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay is not giving up a lot of points thus far on the season, but it is the Chiefs, right? And really, when you look at how the Chiefs have been playing offense, like, looking at the wide receiver position in general, very quickly here, like, so far on the season, to the wide receiver position, the Chiefs have 1 touchdown. Unless I'm missing something. There's 1 touchdown scored between Hardman, MVS, Sky Moore, and Juju, and it goes to Hardman. So, like, Juju's completely relying on targets and receptions, which he could get in this game. But I think Romeo Doubs, coming off of a big performance against a Patriots defense that has not looked good, I mean, 8 targets, 8 receptions, beautiful for Doubs, because Aaron Rodgers is going to, you know, look at that stat line and say, well, I can trust Romeo Doubs, and I don't quite know, outside of Allen Lazard in the red zone, who else I can trust right now. So I will go Romeo Doubs. Hope that was helpful, man. Hey, Jeezy with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Very, very kind to you. The $5 dono. Thank you so much, man. Means a lot. Burn my number 1 waiver on Russ or Sav. Uh-oh. Hey, Jeezy, let me know who Sav was. I'm trying to think here. My QB is Hurts, but if Russ cooks versus Vegas, might be able to trade him or can use him on Hurts' bye. Appreciate your help. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm an idiot. Please don't let me know in the chat who Sav is. It's getting late for me. Burn my number 1 waiver on Russ or save. Oh, God, that's good. Okay. I'm just so used to it being like, burn my number 1 waiver on Russ or this player, you know? That's one for the books. Burn my number 1 waiver on Russ or Sav. I thought it was a typo. Little Buddy Hop with the super chat, 99 cents. Let's go, baby. Thank you so much, man. That means so much to me, man. Very, very kind of you. Super chats really do help support. It really does help us out, man. Thank you, guys. It's very kind of you. Let's go, Bunny Hop. I think picking up Russ on the waiver is completely fine. You know? I think it's fine. I really do. It just depends, like, who you're going to have to drop for him. You know, what I would just ask, hey, GZ, what does your bench look like here? Like, who are you dropping for Russell? Because, yeah, I do think that he absolutely has the potential to have a really good week here in week 4. And depending on teams out there, like, you just got to think there's a team who lost Dak Prescott, who lost Trey Lance, and is a team that lost Tua. So, like, and, like, some of these streaming options, like, Trevor Lawrence has a tough matchup this week. Goff is losing, you know, skill position players. So some of these streaming options, Carson Wentz, like, was very, very down last week. Has a steep matchup this week against Dallas. Like, some of the streaming options are kind of drying up, you know. So if Russ is out there and he has a good game versus the Raiders, which I actually think he has a very good shot to, although he's been very disappointing on the season, like, there's a good chance you won't be able to get him. So it just depends on who you're going to end up having to drop there. But I don't think it's a bad idea overall. But having the number 1 waiver and, like, saving it, solving it, doesn't hurt either, man. So it just depends on who you have to drop would be my final thought there. Dropping a defense, so no problem. I think you do it then. I do. Yeah. Little Bunny Hop with another dono. Let's go, man. Thank you so much. With the cat. You know what? Hey, man. That looks just like my cat, I'm not going to lie. Who's been super annoying lately. Like, trying to get me to feed her, like, 2 or 3 times extra throughout the day. She's been a little feisty lately. Thank you so much, man. second 99-cent super chat by Lil Bunny Hop. Thank you, man. Very, very kind to you. What a guy. All right, let me get back up to the chat here. Bunny Hop. Hey, Jeezy. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Very kind of you guys. All right, let me try. Drop Mooney for Isaiah McKenzie, Cook, or Njoku. My other tight end is Kelsey. You don't need Njoku then. You have Kelsey. You're fine. Pick up Isaiah McKenzie, in my opinion. Unless you're really worried about Kelsey's bye week. You can stream someone that week. I would get... when is Kelsey's bye week? Because, I mean, the streaming options for tight end do dry up. Like, there's not much after the first couple weeks. His bye week's week 8. I think you can manage. I'd rather have McKenzie on my roster, personally. But Njoku's okay. Like, he's fine. If you want to go that route. I would not go Cook, personally. Alright, let's see. TX Ninja, who would you have in RB2 full PPR all season? Dylan Hunter Stevenson. I mean, you're sitting at RB2s here. Like, any of these running backs can outperform each other on a weekly basis. It's just tough, man. It's tough. Who would I have? I'm not quite sure, man. It's probably matchup based. This week I go Dylan. But it's matchup based, man. It's too tough to say all season. Any of these guys can outscore each other at any point. It's a lot of inconsistency here, man. Olave or Devonta Smith? I go Devonta Smith this week with the quarterback change. You know, I like Olave, man, especially in full PPR. But I go Devonta Smith here. I like this Eagles team. I want them in my starting lineup from a fantasy perspective. I go Devonta Smith. Let's see here. Thank you guys for being here, man. We're getting close to 2 hours. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for all the fantasy questions. Ryan, what's up, bro? And Mitchell, we got you, by the way, man. Let's see. Ryan, what's going on, my guy? Pick 2 to start week 4. Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, Kirk, Olave. I go Mike Williams and Kirk here. Most upside. Kirk lines up in the slot. Hopefully, crossing our fingers if you're a Kirk owner. Doesn't see a lot of Darius Slay. If you're really worried about the matchup versus the Eagles, go Olave, but I go Mike Williams and Kirk. Carter taking a chance tomorrow by starting Josh Reynolds. Can't start him on Raw. And Richie James. James has gotten targets through the first 3 weeks, and the wide receiver room is depleted. Yeah, Richie James is undoubtedly your wide receiver 1 for the Giants. Undoubtedly, man. Not even close. What is he going to do with that? We'll find out. But he gets Chicago. Like, it's a good matchup this week. You know? So I do think he could have a good game. And I think Reynolds could have a good game too. So as long as it's full PPR, I like both starts, man. Both of my flex spots, I think he'll survive there. DC King, what's up, baby? What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. What up, what up? Bob France fishing. Let's see here. London or Olave? I go London this week. I like the matchup. He's playing good football. I mean, Olave is too. Don't get me wrong. But quarterback change, Andy Dalton. There's still circumstances where I'll go Olave, but I think London's a better play this week. Who do you think I should go for to get as an RB if I'm willing to trade Gibson, Thielen, and Henderson? You could trade all 3 of those guys. In terms of running back, I mean, you could try for Eckler. People are low on Eckler right now, especially if you don't play full PPR. You could try for Cook because of the injury. You could always try for Najee. But those 3, like, just due to draft capital, are going to be hard to get. You could try for Swift because of the injury. You could try for Kamara because even he is questionable. Still, and just the usage has been god-awful, and this week too. You can try for Javonte. Javonte's realistic there, but you just have to have the faith that Javonte is going to get the season turned around. And right now, Gordon and the play calling and the offense in general is capping that in my eyes. But it can definitely happen. Fournette is another name you could try. Like, you've got enough firepower there, but I wouldn't, like, Outside of like Cook, Eckler, Swift, Harris, I would still try to get a second player. Like, just if you guys are trading 3 players at once, like you just have to imagine, like, talk it out with the other fantasy manager. Like, they're gonna have to drop. You know, if you're doing a 3-for-1, they have to drop 2 players. Like, literally, you can just say, I want whatever player you're going to drop. And they'll probably agree to it, you know? Because they're going to drop them out anyways. So try and get 1 or 2 players if you can. But, yeah, there's a couple of suggestions there. I think any of those running backs are fine. But you just also have to think, like, when it comes to trades overall, it depends on your league, and it depends on the rosters out there. So, it's hard to say. All right, Ron, what's up, bro? Half PPR flex, Dylan, Sanders, or Olave. Olave was a no-brainer with Winston, but not sure now. But with MT out, is he a no-brainer again? These are fair points, man. Like, he's a little bit down for me without Winston, just because we don't know what to expect. And, like, the question becomes, does he see better target share with MT out, or does it hurt him because opposing defenses don't have to worry about MT? And they just say, okay, Olave's the number 1. Let's do our best to X him out. So it's tough there, man. And it's half PPR, so, like, touchdowns are going to be pretty valuable here. Receptions aren't going to be as valuable. I'd probably go Sanders. Sanders for the safe floor, Olave for the upside. I like Sanders and Olave more than Dylan, but I don't dislike Dylan this week against the Patriots offense. So, safe floor, Sanders. Olave still holds the upside, but you're absolutely right. There's question marks there, you know? And it's hard to say, like, does MT being out help him or hurt him? It might hurt him. We got you, AGZ. That's one for the books, man. Russell or Saab? I have Goff at quarterback. Should I start Ryan or Mariota over Goff? I wouldn't say so. I probably still start Goff here. I mean, like, I just think you're getting a similar floor and ceiling out of any of those guys. And Goff at least faces the Seahawks, you know. PPR need 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Curtis Samuel, Ayuk, Bateman, Dubes, Moore, Pierce, Stevenson. I go Bateman. I just like this matchup against the Bills way too much. Like, I mean, if this game flops, you guys are going to hate me. But, like, I personally feel really good about that matchup. So, I will go Bateman for sure. Like, I just feel good about it from head to toe. The flex is interesting. I'd probably go Curtis Samuel, but Ayuk, I like the matchup there. Romeo Doubs, I like this week. I don't think we can confidently put DJ Moore in. Like, the problem with DJ Moore is he just has not been performing, but if you bench him, like, and he has a good day, you're going to feel bad, but it's worth it to have that feeling, right? Pierce is fine this week, too, against the Chargers. Stevenson, too much inconsistency for me, so I just think, like, the best overall starts are Curtis Samuel and Bateman. That's who I would start if it was my roster. Little Bunny up with another super chat. Thanks so much, man. The $2 dono. Go Pack, go. Dude, I do think it's going to be a good week for the Packers. We have so many Packers fans as part of the community. It's going to be a good week for you guys. Bunny Hop. The 3rd super chat on the night. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. And I think the Packers are going to ball out this weekend, man. All right, let's see here. What's up, Chase Brown in the house? What's up, dog? How are you, man? What up, what up, what up? George Henney, Vikings, Rams, or Cardinals defense? I do like the Rams this week. And I don't mind the Cardinals. I will go with them over the Vikings. I just have a bad... Like, I get it. It's Andy Dalton. He's going to throw a pick. I get it. But I don't like defenses when it comes to these London games. I really don't. So I probably would count them out there. So are we betting against Jimmy G? Are we betting against Baker Mayfield? I might go with the Cardinals. They haven't really been performing like from a fantasy perspective necessarily. Let's take a look here. I mean, 1 point in week 1 against Kansas City, 11 in week 2 versus Las Vegas, 4 against the Rams. So their defense number 23 from a fantasy perspective. On the other hand, the Rams are defense 10, 11 points in week 1 against Buffalo. 10 in week 2 against Atlanta, 6 against Arizona. They get Jimmy G and the Niners. I'd probably go the Rams. There's an argument for the Cardinals, but I'd probably go the Rams. I have Diggs. Should I pick up McKenzie too, or that would be a bench clog? No, I think you can pick up McKenzie if it doesn't hurt your bench, because that offense has enough firepower that I think it's fine. DK or Bateman? I go Bateman this week. I like DK this week, but I'd probably go Bateman. More upside for Bateman, safer floor for DK. Both are fine. I have JJ starting. Should I go Kirk, Hollywood, or Devonta Smith? I can start 2 with 1 in the flex. Or should I flex RB, Pierce, Gibson, or Stevenson? What's up, Stober? You have to start JJ. You just can't bench JJ. I mean, you can't. It's that simple. Let's see. I can start 2 with 1 in the flex. You have to start JJ. I mean, all these options are good. I wouldn't go with a running back here. The ceiling is much higher with Kirk, Hollywood, or Smith. And, man, they're all good options. They're all going to have good days. Who's going to have the best day? It's really hard to say. Really hard to say. I might go Kirk here. Oh, gosh. But, like, Hollywood or Smith are fine, man. That's tough. You had to start JJ. Chat, who would you start? Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown, or Devonta Smith? It's just tough, man. They're all good options. But I wouldn't start one of the running backs. Like, I definitely would go with the receiver position there. Ron with the super chat. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for the $2 don't know. I can't find a player named Save on leaks. That's good. Did you try Sav or Sav with the apostrophe? Oh, that's good, Ron. I'm gonna check all players. Here's what comes up when we search Save. You got Chris Olave. Technically, you got an S and an AVE there. You got Joel Stav, and he is a quarterback. He's way by the Browns 4 years ago. Oh, gosh. He's still a free agent. Oh, man, that's sad. Shout out to our boy Joel Stav. You got Testaverde. What? It's not the Vinny Testaverde, right? Right? No way. 3 years ago. Savon Scarver. Savon Almet. Remember him? He was like, he did something. He had a 21-point game and a 13-point game in 2020. I remember him. Then a whole lot of nothing since then. Davius Copenhaver and Seth Devolve. He did something. Maybe not. Did he play for Cleveland? Is that what I'm thinking of? Why do I remember this guy being something at some point? Anyways, that's what happens if you search Save. That's what happens. There's your players. So, hey, it's late night. It's Saturday. You guys know how we do. Oh man, that's good stuff. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, Ron. Let's go, baby. The league vetoed this trade I did. I traded Wilson, J-Rob, DK for Mon Ra. He needs backups. He has Swift, Damian Harris, and Edmonds, also Cup. I mean, you should be able to get another player out of that. They said I'm robbing him. Oh. No, you're not, dude. You're giving up a lot. You're giving up 3 starters for Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're not robbing him. No. I mean, like, quite frankly, as much as I like Amon-Ra, there should be a second player involved here. Like, Jeff Wilson, double-digit fantasy points the last 2 weeks. James Robinson's a top 5 back, and DK's on the right track, and at least in full PPR is giving you safe enough floors. Like, you're not robbing him. JL in the house. What's up, Catch fam? Kirk or Olave at flex? Like both. Afraid of Dalton at quarterback. Afraid of Slay. I go Kirk. Kirk should be lining up in the slot for most of the game. Shouldn't see Slay as often, although he will still see him. But I go Kirk. I'm not completely out on Olave, guys. I'm not. Okay, I want to make that clear. But I do think that I'm a little hesitant with Dalton at the quarterback position. So, like in this circumstance, I just go Kirk, who's the top 8 receiver on the season. Speaking of Dillon, trying to choose him or ETN, really don't like the opposing D lines. I go Dillon by a hair because I like the game script more for Dillon. If the Packers have a good day, I go Dillon. Hoping Bateman has a big day in my flex. Hard to bench guys like Dillon, Pierce, and Gibson. I go Bateman. I believe in the Ravens offense this week. At least the pass catchers and Lamar, including Mark Andrews. If they have a bad week, you guys will hate me, but you just have to admit, man, the Bills' secondary is very depleted. The Ravens' secondary has been bending towards the end of games. It has everything on paper to be a shootout. I got this emo guy in my league, traded Cordero, then Kelsey, then Eckler, and dropped Harris, Russ, and Mooney. Traded Patterson, Kelsey, and Eckler and dropped. Yeah, what's going on there, man? Jeez. If CMC doesn't play, I'll have to play Dillon over him. Chase, I do believe CMC is expected to play. We got that update during the stream, so CMC is planning on playing. We should be good there. C-Crip, what's up, bro? Hey, Catch, do I start Deontay and Devonta Smith over C-Pat, Penny, and Palmer full PPR or no? Listen, guys, Penny has a really good matchup. Like, we have to admit it. The line's been bad against the run. But I just don't trust Penny. I think if you wanted to make a switch here, you go C-Pat over Deontay, but you got to leave those Eagles pieces in. Smith, you got to go Smith, man. You can go Penny or C-Pat over Deontay. Deontay gets Sauce Gardner. His ceiling's capped due to the offense, and it's going to be a little rainy, potentially. I like C-Pat as a safer play, but Penny has a good matchup. You got to start Smith. It's all love, baby. Look at the next few weeks for Packers. We could easily start 5-2 or 6-1. Hey, you guys like to lose week 1. Season's not over, right? Start 2, Gabe Davis, Bateman, or Curtis Samuel. Whoo. I mean, any combination's fine here, but I go Gabe Davis and Rashad Bateman. Curtis Samuel's fine. I like the matchup. I go Davis and Bateman. If this matchup sucks, if these wide receivers suck, you guys are going to hate me. Homer Simpson, hi, do you guys think Njoku or Higbee? I go Higbee. Hit the thumbs up for the catch. Thank you, Derek, for the shout out. I appreciate that, man. Deep sleeper stash, Savon Scarver. Let's go, baby. All right, guys, we're about to hit 2 hours, so I'm going to start winding things down. We usually just go for 2 hours on Saturday nights, which is a good little bit. But I'm having some car issues, and I have to wake up early to go with my father-in-law to jump my car and then take it to get it checked out. It won't start. And I got the battery, we jumped it earlier in the week, and I got the battery tested. The battery's fine, so it's got to be something else, man. And yeah. So I got to do that, and I got to come home as soon as I can. And just as a heads up, tomorrow's stream I might be a little bit late. I usually am on by 11. That's probably not going to happen tomorrow. I'm probably going to have to be on at 12, which pains me. And I'm a little bit worried that tomorrow's stream might be in jeopardy. But I gotta get my car. It's sitting at my work. And I don't like it sitting there. So I gotta do all that. And if I can't stream before the games tomorrow, I know not a lot of you guys will want to be on Sunday night. Historically, this is not a good time to stream. Because everyone's like just chilling for the week. You know, like football's over, like you're taking a breather. But I'll hop on Sunday night if I can't tomorrow. But I think I'll, like worst case scenario, I think I can stream for half an hour before the games. But usually we stream for 2 to 3 hours Sunday morning. But hey, these things happen, right? So, do you think Algier will take over at some point? I mean, I like to believe that. I was a huge Tyler Algier supporter in the offseason. He's in the... Nah. I don't know, man. So far, it doesn't look like it. Any bad weather games I should be aware of? Let's take a look here. Let's see. The Bills, Ravens. Ooh, that might be a rainy game. Oh, gosh. I'm glad we checked this. Oh, gosh, guys. Okay, if I told you to start a Ravens or Bills players, 91% chance of rain. Bears, Giants, 84% chance of rain. And should be some winds there. Jags, Eagles, 84% chance of rain. Jets, Steelers, 84% chance of rain. Those are your worst games right there. Zach with the super chat. Very, very kind to you, man. Thank you so much for the $2 dono. Would you trade Clyde for Pitts? You can. Like it's a fair trade overall, Zach, but it depends on the rest of your roster. Depends on the rest of your roster. But yeah, overall, it's a fair trade. I do like Clyde Edwards-Helaire right now, but it's a fair trade. I'm still clueless on how waiver orders are determined. Could you explain how it works? Well, it depends because there are different waiver settings for different leagues. So it depends. There are different waiver settings. So it's hard to say. Let me see, though. Zach, thanks again for the super chat. And like I said, if you want to throw out the rest of your team, let me know, man. But and overall, it's a fair trade. Let me see. Just trying to see if I could pick up or pull up on Sleeper. I'm not having much luck. I mean, yeah, there's rolling waivers, there's reverse standing waivers, and then there's free agent bidding. Like if you're doing free agent bidding, you probably know. Like you started the season with $200, $300, whatever it may be, and you have that money to spend, right, to bid on players, right? Reverse standings is going to be based off of literally what it sounds like. The number one team is going to be at the end of the waivers. The number 12 team, let's say you're in a 12-team league, is going to be at the beginning. However that fluctuates is how your waivers are set throughout the week. So if you drop from number 1 to number 3, you have the third last waiver. If you move from number 12 to number 10, you have the 10th waiver, you know? So rolling waivers is what a lot of leagues do. That depends on... it just depends what is the best way to describe rolling waivers, because that's probably what you have, and that can be confusing in nature. Rolling waivers are continuous. The last person to waiver a player is placed last into the waiver priority. For every successful waiver claim, that team owner drops to the bottom of the order while everyone moves one up. So that's probably what you have. That's what a lot of leagues do. I hope that was helpful in a nutshell. Vikings or Bucks defense. I mean, I'm not betting against the Chiefs, Ryan. I'd probably go the Vikings. Ayuk or Palmer for my flex spot. I go Ayuk against the Rams secondary. Pray catch still ain't live. Still live? Ain't no way. Yeah, we're live, bro. But we're starting to wind down. I am going to start winding down the stream, boys and girls. Do I still flex Bateman or play Dillon, Gibson, or Pierce? You could go Gibson or Pierce if you don't like the weather. I have Lamar at QB. You have to start Lamar. Chase, hopefully we get a better weather update in the morning. But if you guys are out on Bateman or Gabe Davis, it's okay if you have other flex options. I will go Gibson or Pierce if you're worried about it, man. I have Diggs. You have to start Diggs. Don't overthink that. I mean, fantasy, like, the ceilings might come down a little bit due to the weather, man. They might. But there are certain players that you just have to start. Lamar Jackson and Diggs are definitely in that tier, you know. You start them regardless, right? I got you, TX Ninja, of course, bro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and wind down the stream. We're over 2 hours. So it is time to come to an end. A great stream tonight, guys. That felt like 10 minutes. That was phenomenal. You guys killed it. Tons of super chats tonight, guys. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Really does help me out. Really does help out the channel. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot to me when you guys are willing to support the channel. But to all you guys who came out, man, and to all you guys who just come to the stream, you're still supporting the channel. So thank you guys so much. J-Dubs. We're doing one thing before I end the stream very quickly here. And Ignatius, thank you. I hope you guys like the new thumbnail. I'm playing around with them. All right, J-Dubs. Can I figure this out? No, I need to go to live, best ball. NFL. All right, so I've got a 6-person draft that I'm third in. Another one that I'm third in. The catch fam, RIP Zach Wilson. Here's a catch fam. All right, these are kind of, this is easy. It pulls up right here. Spencer winning one of these. I'm third, winning $0. Jay Speezy and Mr. Sarcastic in there. I'm third, winning $0. That looks like just me. Catch fam 819, Mr. Sarcastic winning. Spencer at 2, Mr. Grapefruit at 3. J Dubs in there. Julian's in there. Derek Godfather. That might be a full catch fam. Yeah. Mr. Sarcastic winning that one. RIP Zach Wilson. J Dub was at second place. I'm at 8th. Let's go. Anthony at 1st. Catch fam 730. J Dub's at 2nd. You're doing all right, man. I'm at 5th there. I'm doing all right overall. Catch fam 722. I'm in 3rd place. I don't see you on there, J Dubs. BOP at number 1. Here's one. I'm at 2nd. Thank God. I don't think that's just a 12-person draft, so who cares? Hey, I'm number 1 in a couple. There's Derek. I mean, Devin. Yeah, look at that. I'm doing all right. My 3 people drafts. Yeah, I'm doing okay in these. That's the only tier I should be in. Oh, there I got Spencer beating me. So overall, man, not doing well. Not doing well. See, some of these aren't labeled, probably because they're not full catch members, but you guys are in some of them. Pick 2, Evans, Olave, Wilson, Moore, Hollywood Brown, Dortch. Full PPR concerned with the Brown injury and Rondell coming back. All fair there. I will go Evans, and I go Hollywood Brown. Yeah. I think Brown will be fine. I go Evans and Brown. Should I trade Kirk for Kittle? No, I keep Kirk. I keep Kirk there. Not bad in the side turnings. I mean, yeah, we're doing okay. I'm not winning anything in the big tournaments. $7, $5, $7. Yeah, I'm not even close, man. Not even close. Pre-drafts. Oh, I'm doing all right in the pre-drafts. Oh, let's go. There's a $20. There's a $10. Couple 3-persons I'm first in. Let's go. So that would be before the actual draft, NFL draft happened. Blue Crew, happy PR pick 1, Curtis Samuels, Garrett Wilson, Pollard. I go Curtis Samuel there for sure, man. I go Curtis Samuel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for tonight's stream. Just wanted to give the best ball update as J-Dubs requested and waited all night for. And happy to give that update, man. And not looking too hot for me, but not looking awful. I think, like, I spent, yeah, at stake is $550. So, like, I'm not doing very well. But, hey, man, you know, those were all for fun. And a lot of those we entered together. So I'm happy, man. Happy that we've done that together, man, for sure. So, last question here that I'm signing off. Need to start 3 for half PPR, not the sexiest group, but Thielen, Rashad Penny, DJ Moore, Reynolds, or Dubs. I go Romeo Dubs. Roll the dice on Rashad Penny against the Lions defense. Why not? DJ Moore or Josh Reynolds, whoever you feel better about, Chris. Thielen's not awful, man. Ugh, gosh, that is tough. Go Penny and Dubs. Penny based on matchup. Dubs I feel good about. Thielen can score against the Saints. DJ Moore, I probably sit here, honestly. I probably go Thielen, Penny, and Dubs. There's an argument for Reynolds or DJ Moore, I guess. Reynolds not awful. I go Thielen, Penny, and Dubs. Trust your gut here, man. It's a tough decision overall. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for tonight's stream. We are a little bit past. I've been saying I'm going to sign off for like 10 minutes. David Glazer, great to catch you here at the end. I'm sorry. I'm signing off, guys. I got to get up early. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Thank you guys to everyone who was here. Appreciate you guys listening in. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys for all the super chats. A great stream tonight, guys. Thank you guys for all the fantasy questions. I will be on tomorrow before kickoff. Like I said, I'm having some car issues. I got to take care of some things. So tomorrow's stream will be a little bit later than usual. Won't be as long. Unfortunately, but worst case scenario, I'll be on for half an hour before kickoff. So I will be on tomorrow at some point before kickoff to touch base with you guys. So, and I might hop on tomorrow night too, which I usually don't do. But thank you guys so much for everything, man. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Thank you guys to all the new subscribers. Thank you guys for liking the stream, for coming out, for hanging out, for all the fantasy questions. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I love this community, man. Love the Catch fam. Thank you guys so much for everything, man. Really means a lot to me. So, we'll go ahead and we'll wind down the stream. Make sure to hit the like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Make sure you join the Discord if you're new to the channel. Hit me up on Discord or Instagram if you guys need anything in the meantime. I'll be on tomorrow night before kickoff. And that'll do it for tonight's stream. So, with that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And peace.